Alright, and hello everybody, I'm the Super27, and welcome to another Dokkan battle video. Now, we have a contender for, like, one of the genuine best units in the game, like, potentially, like, top 15, maybe top 20, I don't know, maybe I'm gassing him up just a little bit, but we have free-to-play BROLY. Now, BROLY, he's been one of my most anticipated units in the game for over a year now. I am a little bit, disappointed that he's not summonable, but having him be a Prime Battle LR was probably the best case scenario for global players, seeing as if he was a yellow coin LR, we would have had, 9th anniversary into Topo, into Tech MUI, into Worldwide Download Celebration, and then if we had like a Part 3 yellow coin banner, I mean, that would be cool, but God, global players, we would be scrounging for stones even more so than we already are. So, this is going to be a dedicated showcase for him. I'm going to do it a little bit different from my other ones. Instead of pausing every time, well, never mind. I changed my mind. I instantly changed my mind. I was going to show just every single rotation, but, no, we're not going to do that. Unless you guys want to do that. If you want to see these showcases, like, every single turn instead of just the highlighted unit, if you want every single turn that we can see every single play that I do, let me know in the comment section down below if you guys would be interested in something along those lines. But we're going to kind of see what this boy can do. Now, he is just kind of like Diet Cell Max. He does pretty much everything Cell Max does, just a little bit worse. Impressive damage is not something I would say that this unit can do, but impressive tanking and having one of the better target all mechanics in the game. Wholeheartedly, this unit has absolutely got that down pat. This is the build that we're rocking with him. He has 25 dodge, so 1/4 of the time he's going to be dodging, and then every other attack he should be able to comfortably tank. So let's go ahead and dive in to our first event. Ooh, bet you weren't expecting to see animations, because I don't tend to usually show those. But, like, I had to get the BROLY intro in the video. You know I had to, just him screaming his little head off. Alright, so, also, their intros are very, very similar. Again, the Diet Cell Max, connection really isn't a far stretch by any means. So, we're into the Evoken event. If I'm going to be honest, this is the third time I've gone into this event. Both times I've died turn 1 without having BROLY even available to us. So that is a little bit unfortunate here. But we're going to try to see what he can do. That's going to be a lot of pressure in slot 2. Now, keep in mind, turn 1 is BROLY's weakest turn. That is the turn that he only has 60% damage reduction, which is crazy to say, but 60% with only 180% defense really is not enough by any means. But he does have big bad bosses when he's linked up with Cell Max. Cell Max is probably his best linking partner because of that. They're both LRs, so they're getting legendary power, getting an extra 15% attack when performing the super, 25% to stats. It's very good all around. And then we have the sub EZA free-to-play, whatever you want to call it, BROLY right here, who is actually going to probably look better on this first turn than the LR, because this guy has 90%. He's essentially just a free-to-play EZA version of, AGL Golden Frieza. So that is very good. Now, keep in mind that this guy does not get any stats until he actually performs a super. So I know 85,000 defense looks very unimpressive. He's going to get an extra 180 once he actually does his super. So let's kind of see what he's going to be able to do here. Now, hopefully, we won't actually die yet again. I would actually like to potentially see this guy up against Evoken, and get deep into the fight so that we can actually see his active skill. But there are a couple of units who I'm having to bring just because my uncontrollable power setup isn't necessarily the strongest. Like, usually I like to bring Hirudegarn, and I usually run Hirudegarn as my leader. That way I can actually get Fat Boo on the team, and then I can run a friend of the Int BROLY, LR Int BROLY. Dude, Cell Max, dude. Oh my god, Cellmax, you pissed me off. You have type advantage and guard and 30% damage reduction, and you weigh 260 on a super, bro. You shouldn't be taking that much. Alright, but by BROLY, he does have the guaranteed additional super for his first 4 turns, so basically his first 2 rotations, essentially, his first 2 appearances or whatever. Doing pretty decent damage. This is a hit potential system right here, and he does have the 50% chance to crit just built in, so we actually did get some pretty good luck right there, and we, oh, BROLY, bro, please! Live! Can you dodge one of these? Do you have a 25% chance? If he dodges the super... Damn!
Fellas, I don't know how to tell you this, but we're kind of cooked right there.
Damn! Okay, I was not expecting him to get 100k, but again, to be fair, that is his weakest turn. I've made this comparison before, but like Fusion Zamasu, this guy is essentially, his turn 1 is Fusion Zamasu's turn 3. Because Fusion Zamasu has 80% damage reduction on turn 1. Even in today's meta, you can put Fusion Zamasu into slot 1 on his first appearance. Then, after that, you know, he gets a little bit dicey just because losing that damage reduction is so huge on a unit like that. But let's dive right back on in. We have him again on the second rotation. So, what I will do is I will pause, or if we die, I guess I'll actually show the footage of us dying instead of me just dying off screen. Okay. Yeah, we're dead again. It looks like Tech BROLY, if we don't get him in slot 7, is probably just completely unrunnable in this event. I have 2 more attempts right here. But did you see how much damage we did? With just those units right there, we did over like 60% of this kid's health. And again, he's not at the... we got the exact same opening rotation. Alright, hopefully we'll have better RNG, I guess. Oh, he's double-digit tanking. Oh, that's because they haven't supered yet. Oh, that's so good. Alright, I unpaused preemptively because I assumed that he probably would die right there, but Evoken actually hasn't supered yet, which is a little bit bizarre, not gonna lie. But we will take those. Oh, and this will be, yet again, some pretty good showing. So, I'm actually going to trust the free-to-play right here because he's my only option. Again, he has 90% damage reduction. This could be a showcase for both BROLYs. You know what? Why not? We can bring both BROLYs both times and see how they both perform. You know, why the hell not? This is my video. I can make the rules, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Alright, so let's see right here. Also, having Int BROLY have 0 pressure in slot 3 is pretty good. He's taking 4-digit damage. Okay, so that means that this is definitely going to hurt, but I don't imagine we're going to go from full to 0. What's the damage looking like? Damn, 200k. Cell Max took that way worse. Oh, yo, free-to-play BROLY better than Cell Max, hello? That's insanity. Double super right here, so these guys do also get attack on their super attack effect. That is something that is, like, needed to be noted. So BROLY in the middle slot here, he's going to be taking way more damage than last time, because he doesn't have access to big bad bosses either. Again, there's just a lot of pressure he's having to tank on his first turn, which I feel like usually isn't the case, but, like, I guess this fight is just a little bit particular with how it spreads out its attacks, but I like to do this. I like to be fair to units. I like to show them at their peaks. I like to show them at their worst. I don't like to sugarcoat anything. We didn't get a single hit a potential system dodge, by the way. All those were a 25% chance, but a little bit of a rough showing for the LR. Excuse me. But, dude, I'm not even going to hold you. The tech TUR? That was good. That was impressive. That was very impressive, I would argue, actually. So let's see what we want to be cooking right here. Yeah, again, let's just swap the premises of this video. This is now just a BROLY showcase in general. I am going to pop this right away. You may have noticed that on the last time, when we died, I actually kept BROLY in his base form. Usually my strategy with that BROLY is if I am going to float him because the other BROLY is in slot 7, I will keep him in his base form to give the support to that entire rotation. Because he can tank pretty comfortably, you know, like you've seen, with 70% damage reduction and guard, he can tank effectively pretty damn well. And then if you put him into slot 1, obviously guard and 90% damage reduction, he's just unkillable. But if you're putting him into slot 1 on turn 1, you might as well just go ahead and pop the transformation anyway. That way you can go ahead and start getting your stacks and you get access to the active skill that much sooner. But then I know there is like some like trade-offs with that, because then he loses that extra bit of damage reduction a little bit earlier into the fight. But most of the time, even my BROLY at 55%, that doesn't really matter. That's like such a non-issue. It might as well like not even be brought up as like an issue. Because you put him into slot 1 before he attacks, he has guard, 200% extra defense, and 50% damage reduction, and he only loses, I believe he only loses the 200% defense after super. He still keeps his guard and 50% damage reduction, so he's essentially like Evokin, or not Evokin, Evolution Blue Vegeta post-revive just for the entire fight. He is so good. Plus he's stacking, plus he has the AoE, some X, you can, okay, there you go. That's better levels of tanking. All right. My goat. So let's go ahead and transform BROLY yet again. Let's go and try to get a stack. Unfortunately, he does not link too well with BioBROLY. Just prepare for battle and legendary power, which is 2 key and 5% attack and defense. Even still, not able to get to that 18 key mark. That's a little bit disappointing, not going to lie. But let's kind of just see right here again. This is another situation where BioBROLY, he's just going to get crushed. And I kind of have to put him in this middle slot right here. This is also my final attempt of the day, so if we lose, we just outright lose. But if we get a dodge at any point, or if they do choose to super later into the turn, that will be a pretty massive W for us. Obviously, I don't think BioBROLY would be able to tank a super with just the 60% damage reduction. Also, I do want to say that this unit's attack stats are very, very consistent. Because he is, again, he's a Prime Battle free-to-play LR. He doesn't really have, like, the most amount of stats. Even in his passive, he's only getting an extra 180, and that's it. Nowhere else in this kid's kit does he get any sort of extra buffs on super attack, on hit, anything like that. He is doing a lot of things, so we are taking this significantly better, but that is just because there is yet to be a super. Evokin hasn't supered yet at all, interestingly enough. Now, they... Of course, this guy will be able to eat a normal, but if they do choose to super him, this is just kind of the end of the run. That is the liability that you run with him when you do bring the unit. It looks like it is a normal. We're taking a little bit of damage, but we are surviving. Let's go. So, again, we're just going to keep BioBROLY on the main rotation right here. Oh, almost. Silly me. I almost forgot to pop the active skill right there. So let's do this right here. Now, BioBROLY, the TUR... If I'm not mistaken, he has 90% damage reduction, but he loses 20% with each turn. So on turn 1, he has 90, and then the following turn, he has 70. And then, you know, 60, and then all the way down to 0. But he gets that one turn on turn 10 for whatever reason, where he gets just like a little bit of extra support, and he also gets that extra damage reduction. So if you ever make it to turn 10 with this TUR BioBROLY, like the only way you would be able to do that is keep him on main rotation for like the easier stages of the fight, and then you float him, and then he comes back on turn 10. That would be like really the only feasible way I could see you doing that, but I mean, hey, it's possible, you know, because again, this guy, he's pretty solid in of himself. Like, obviously, I would say he is much more, like, he's inferior in pretty much every single way, shape, and form to the LR, except for on turn 1. That is, like, really where the TUR BioBROLY, like, shines. But the LR BioBROLY, he shines from turn 3 onward, because that's when he gets all that extra damage reduction, baby. And then all of a sudden, 72% damage reduction is a lot more enticing than just 60. And then after that, he has 84, then 90, and then it goes back down a little bit after that. But with how daunting this team is, how powerful this team is, how oppressive this team is, you're never going to really see these units start to struggle. I say that as BioBROLY is taking 93. Damn! Again, that's the huge difference in just 20% damage reduction, and we didn't get a hit potential system dodge, unfortunately. We are dead. 572, though, that is pretty impressive taking. That's over a 2.5 million super, and that's our final attempt for the day. Very, very unfortunate. I feel like we just got really bad luck that entire time. Like, I don't think I made any, like, severe misplays. What is your dodge build? 50% chance to dodge. I don't typically put skill equips on free-to-play units, and this guy is currently on my link leveling team, so his links aren't that impressive, but the rest of the team I do have fully link level 10, and they all are orbed up. I guess I can show this right here, might as well. Just that way you guys can see that I am not being a liar, man. My pants, they are not on fire. I keep things real on this channel. Alright, Cellmax. I always hate that Cellmax's, like, loading screen takes a while. Like, his asset is impressive, but it's not that impressive, you know what I mean? But alright, let's dive into another event. We can maybe sub in Hirudegarn for one of these units, or, I mean, maybe we might just keep it like this, do like a full BROLY team, and we can just pretend that Cellmax is also a BROLY. I don't know, but let's dive into another event. Alright, so here we are into pretty much my favorite showcase stage for, you know, all of these various different events, going up against Gogeta, because it's a long fight that's also relatively difficult, and this will give BioBROLY plenty of time to actually get that damage reduction built up, and the team can apply enough, like, offensive pressure that we're going to be able to move pretty quickly. We're using just the exact same team. Cellmax is going to have time to get fully built up here as well, but I really just want to get to a point Oh, you know what we could do? Now, again, this unit is weak against AoEs. I do want to, like, throw that out there right now. I do understand that I am potentially bringing this unit into a liability. Type disadvantage AoEs. This guy does not have any stats before he performs a super. So we might hold on to his team protection mechanic up until we get to Gogeta Blue. If, like, God willing, please let the showcase actually go well and not have me get screwed over by something dumb or silly or dumb or maybe even potentially a little bit silly. If all of that happens, we could actually see this guy, like, I mean, the other units on the rotation would eat a lot of damage, potentially, you know, because, again, we do have, like, some fraudulent defensive units. The same thing goes for, like, Tech, Easy A, Yellow Coin, Broly. That unit does not get any of their stats until they perform their 18 key. That's when they get the guard. It's not a start of turn guard. They have to actually do the super first before they get any of that. This Broly, like, even though I'm probably a much bigger fan than him, than a lot of the rest of the community, I do recognize he does have flaws. He's not that impressive offensively. He can be a fraud in so many different situations. He really is only good in the current meta when we have all these Pure Saiyan, all these Hybrid Saiyans, all these movie heroes, all these Gokus, where he has all these extra abilities to his kit. Once we move forward a little bit, like, deeper, you know, like, we have a meta shift, we go back to, like, more extreme class fights, or, maybe we even move away. I mean, I don't know, because it's kind of hard to move away from super class and not have, like, a Goku or a Pure Saiyan or a Hybrid Saiyan. That's not an easy thing to do. You know what I'm going to do here? This is probably a misplay, but I'm going to do this just for the sake of funsies. Let's see what BioBroly is able to do here, and we can try to greed up and get a stack for the Yellow Coin LR over here, because the Yellow Coin LR, obviously, he does stack only in his base form and only on the 18 key. So potentially having him be a little bit more impressive offensively deeper into this fight will be pretty nice to have in our back pocket, because Broly's not going to take any time at all before, you know, he's at, like, a really high potential stat. Because, again, he stacks every 18 key as well, but, like, we're going to be launching off 18 keys for free. And, again, we can show off the strategy that I mentioned a little bit earlier, where you're able to, like, hold on to the transformation. That way you have the extra damage reduction for a little bit deeper into the fight. But this fight really can't take advantage of that strategy too much. We will be floating off Cell Max here. And let's go ahead and transform this Broly right here. So, again, keep in mind, Bio Broly, he has 72% damage reduction. And this is the final turn that he has his intro passive up, which essentially gives him a random choice between 8 to 10 key. I don't know why it's not 11, because Bio Broly is movie 11. I feel like that was a odd choice. Like, it doesn't really feel that thematic. But he gets randomly 8 to 10 key. He also launches a guaranteed additional super, and he recovers 26% HP at the end of the turn for his first 4 turns, so essentially his first 2 rotations. He's having all those extra buffs, and then after that, he only has the 3 key, 180 to stats, 50% chance to crit, and then he gets the damage reduction buffs, and then, like, the decreases. I don't know the specific amounts. I did not pull that up. That was just straight from the top of the dome. Again, my knowledge on this game is very vast, so don't even come at me. I know my shit. All right, Jeremy? Jeremy, the keyboard warrior. I know what I'm talking about when I play this game, man. Hey, I take play. Oh, this will be a good showcase right here. Right here. Finally, the showcase unit is actually getting tagged by a super. So let's see. What is the damage going to be looking like? 174,000 up against them. I'm not going to hold y'all. That's not that impressive. If I remember correctly, I guess I can actually pull this up here. So I have a visual reference for you guys. Or I guess for myself. I probably won't show this because I feel like I show this in every single showcase. Just because I don't remember it. You would assume that I would remember it at some point. But the blue boys, what is their damage? Oh, that's Gogeta. I forgot. Or, excuse me, that's Beast. I forgot that Gogeta is the stage prior to Beast Gohan. And we actually killed on that turn. That is pretty impressive. Ooh. Okay, Imp Broly, he's going to have to take a lot of pressure in that back slot right there. But we can do... That's with 6 key spheres? Not able to get an 18 key, huh? I mean, I guess that's what, with just shattering the limit? No, that's just with Super Saiyans. Yeah, not linking the best with Bio Broly. Bio Broly's have just, like, a weird link set, man. Like, I don't understand why the LR has big bad bosses. I mean, I'm happy for it, because my GOAT deserves big bad bosses, but it just doesn't make sense, and it doesn't also, like, really mix with the rest of the team all too well. Like, this guy needs big bad bosses. The Int Broly needs big bad bosses. But, I mean, I guess it's nice to give Cell Max, you know. Free-to-play Prime Battle LR. But the thing is, not too many other Prime Battles. Like, I don't think Wheelo has, whatchamacallit, big bad bosses, so... I don't know, it could be a little bit, it's just weird. There's not really a lot of synergy, but if you have Cell Max on the rotation, or if you have a Hirudegarn, if you're running Hirudegarn, if you're running Physical Kid Buu, if you want to use, like, the support, there are options where you are able to get some of these units on the team where, you know, having big bad bosses available is actually, like, possible, and it's not, like, too difficult to do. Let's see what Broly's going to tank here, because this guy is obviously going to super. There's no way he's not supering in that. He didn't super in the final slot. Wow, I actually kind of can't believe that. Okay, so he's going to super in slot 1 instantly out the gate. God, this animation is so good. This was from 2019, by the way. 2019 Dokkan was cracked. I mean, every year Dokkan is cracked. But let's see. So, on this rotation, Bio Broly has 84% damage reduction, but he does lose access to his intro. So, as we can see right here, he does just have the 12 key at the start of the turn, which I would say is actually relatively huge, because this unit doesn't get any defense on his 12 key. He only gets 50% attack, and he debuffs. Now, granted, we are able to debuff in several phases of this fight, this one being one of them, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, you are able to offensively debuff Gogeta, but that's not, like, the biggest deal ever. I don't understand why they couldn't have given him 50% defense or even 30% defense on the 12 key on top of the debuff, since he doesn't have any built-in additionals. It's just one of those things that's, like, a little odd, and we also see right here, because we're not getting that 18 key, a very low attack stat. Again, keep in mind, prime battle stats. Hit a potential system additional super right there. That's lovely. That's the type of shit that you love to see. Double debuff, double crit. Finally, the dodge build is coming in, and as we can see here, he's obviously double-digit tanking. That is incredible from him. So again, he just gets better as the fight goes on, and then he kind of peaks at around turn 7, and then after that, he's going to just kind of slowly wither away. He does get pretty, like, substantially worse throughout the rest of the fight from there on. There's no real, like, coping for the character and be like, oh no, he still has, like, some potential. No, he's going to lose, like, all of his damage reduction, and he's going to lose it pretty damn fast. All right. But let's see what we got cooking right here. We can actually just float off the other Bio Broly. I don't really see any reason not to. You know what I'm also going to do? I'm going to pop the Cell Max active right here. I'm going to try to wipe Gogeta off the face of the planet this turn. This is going to be my big brain strat. That way, when Bio Broly is at his maximum potential, hopefully, if everything goes according to Keikaku, I'll be able to pop the Ultimate Genome Raise, which I believe is the active skill. Again, key is a little bit of a struggle for this guy with the units that were running around him. But between Cell Max and Broly, I would hope that we would be able to kill, especially if he supers, because this guy doesn't have a stun or a seal or anything. He does not super, so that is no guaranteed additional super for Cell Max. Hopefully Cell Max can carry his weight a little bit here. I would really like to see some crits from my boy. This is y'all's #1 in the game. I've seen people coping for him all the time. It's not cope. He is like a top 5 unit in the game. Again, if you had to, like, twist my arm right now, ask me what are, like, the top 5 units in the game, I would say Gohan, Beast, Super Saiyan 3 Trio, Broly, and then Cell Max. That's my top 5 right there. But, dude, people saying that Cell Max is #1, like, he is good. He is offensive beast Gohan. I gotta put some respect on the GOAT's name. I do. I understand it. I understand my guy can cook. He's got the utensils. He's in the kitchen for a reason. But, dude, he is not that chef. He does not have Remy on his head. And you know that little crown-looking ass thing that he's got? Bro, Remy ain't there. You know who is there, though? Gamma 2, doing whatever the fuck the final hope attack. I don't know what it's called, man. I don't know how to read Dragon Ball. You think I know how to read? Oh, Cell Max is eating this, obviously, because of this, but this is going to be 15. Oh, if it's actually 15, I think this deserves a sub. 15? 70. I mean, I had a 1 in 99, you know? Or I guess a 9 in 99, because they can't do any less than 10, right? I don't believe that it can actually go below 10. So, unfortunately, we aren't going to see the Super God turn that I wanted to. Who do I have on this upcoming rotation? Hopefully there's not going to be AoEs. Hopefully. Because again, I am bringing scouters for all of these showcase videos going forward. That way, if there is an instance where I want to put the showcase character in harm's way for whatever reason, just to see how they tank or how they perform in a certain situation, I know exactly where to put them. So, I'm not bringing, like, Ghost Ushers, even though Ghost Ushers could potentially... Ghost Ushers could potentially be, like, a little bit better. Just so you know, we can actually guarantee that each Bio Broly is actually going to be safe on their respective turn, or we can actually get to a Bio Broly turn as opposed to just, like, having him around floating in the aether while the other rotation dies over and over and over again. Instantly an AoE. Is that 2 AoEs or is it just the one? AoE? Yeah, it's just the one. So, we are cooked because the Carnival BROLY isn't going to be able to survive. So let's go ahead and pop this as well. I mean, might as well. If he supers in slot 1, we are, like, even more dead than we would have been. It actually looks like he's not supering on this turn. Interesting. So, I mean, I guess there's actually a small chance that we live this. I mean, it's very small. We could get a dodge in any of these units. This is only a 675,000 damage attack, which really isn't, like, too bad. It's only really scary after he supers and then I'm sorry? Why didn't the scouter work? What? At the start of the next turn? Bro, what the fuck? Why does that suck? I'm sorry. Huh? Well, you learn something new every day. The green scouter is just straight up ass. Okay. So, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take you off the team. We're gonna put on Herudagard. And I will meet back up with you guys once we get deeper into the fight. Usually, you know, the point that we go to, Super Saiyan Gogeta. Alright, guys. So, we are back up against Super Saiyajin Gogeta. Alright. So, he should, on this turn, we had him in slot 7, so he should have 84. He should have 84% damage reduction on this turn. Now, I do just want to double check. Yeah, 89,000 at the start of turn. He has Prepare for Battle and Big Bad Bosses, and that is it. I mean, he'll also have Legendary Power once we give him some orbs right here. I actually think I want to give Cell Max all of these. I'm going to hold on to Cell Maxes. That way we can actually see Bio Broly tank. Yet again, it is one of these designated slot 1 supers. Huh. It is so hard doing showcases for slot 2 units, man. I want to see, I want to see Bio Broly get hit by a super. Hello? Huh? Huh? Broly? Broly, was that my goat taking 280? Huh? What? Broly, I feel betrayed. Broly, get your shit together, man. We're in the big leagues. This isn't even the big league. This is Gogeta. Huh? Am I missing something? I don't think so. Dude, okay. I mean, granted, I mean, I guess usually, you're gonna have a... Super Saiyan Gogeta can double super, and we dodged it. That's our first dodge of the video, and it's a bad one. I mean, if I were Truth right now, I would be like, you fucking idiots. I told you. That's right. I win. Stay mad. Or, you know. Dude, I love that kid. Oh... But no, I actually want to see these units get hit. I want to see what they can, like, actually do in, like, some, like, realistic situations to know what to expect. But it looks like we're actually going to be getting the God turn that I wanted last time. So, because, like, there's no way in hell we're not killing on this turn. So, we'll kill on this turn. We'll be up against Gogeta Blue. But actually pop the Ultimate Genome Ray. And then we can see how he's going to do against all of these supers. Now, granted, it's going to be type disadvantage, but he's going to have essentially 90% damage reduction. I still haven't ironed out the fact whether or not if he gains and loses at the same time. So I don't know if he actually has the 90%, then he doesn't lose the 6% until the next turn, and then the next time he comes around, he'll be at, what is that, 90 minus 12 is 78. I don't know if it works like that, or if he, like, goes up to 90, but then that part of his passive kicks in, so he goes back down to 84. I have not, like, figured it out. I don't really think anyone in the community has, like, tried to figure it out, because it doesn't really matter. He essentially has 90% damage reduction. We have 2 AoEs, man, but this will be good. Other than the AoEs, Herudagard is going to be fine. So Herudagard just has to dodge twice. But let's go ahead and get this little animation in here. Not the most impressive damage ever, not gonna lie, but I mean, doing essentially 40% of a health bar type disadvantage isn't that bad. But I am just now noticing how well this guy actually links when you have Harudegarn on the rotation, because if I'm not mistaken, Fear of Faith debuffs, yeah, by 10% and gives 2 key, and he also has Big Bad Bosses up. And look at how much, this is what his defense usually is going to look like, because he gets 180% attack and defense after performing a attack. Now, granted, the active skill will actually activate that, because active skill super attacks, they count as supers. So we can see right there, 200, let's just round it up, 250 defense, he has guard, and again, let's just call it what it is. Let's say he has 90% damage reduction. Let's be as generous as possible. This is going to be type disadvantage, but I want to see, please, just like super. I just need to see the super and let it connect. Let the super connect. All right, he's double digit tanking, which is obviously very good. Connect. Woo! All right, perfect. All right, let's see, what is the damage going to be right here? I can expect it's going to be a lot. Let's see. Damn, that's good. See, now that's incredible. That's incredible. That's an over 3 million super attack stat right there. Over 3 million. This is a free-to-play type disadvantage Prime Battle LR. All right? This guy has everything in the multiverse going against him. And he ate it for essentially, what, 20,000? Oh, he seals on a super attack, so we don't actually get to see him super right there. That's a little unfortunate. But that's not, like, again, that's not the worst. BROLY did exactly what he's needed to do. We have Selmax on this upcoming turn, so I can pop his, and if we live, I mean, we can go back into the turn and potentially see what he'll take against an AoE. I guess that would be another, like, fun part of the experiment. Because having units who have just nothing at the start of turn, I hate that. Like, I know everyone thinks that I hate AGL, SSJ3. I don't. I just think he's overrated. But that is a unit who at the start of turn has 150 to stats and then gets another 150 when he performs a super attack. So there are situations where, you know, like up against AoEs, or if you put him into slot 1, he can get caught. You know, because if you have him in slot 1, like, yeah, he does have the guard, but only guard 150 and like 30% defense. It's really not that great, you know what I mean? Like, what does Selmax have? Because Selmax, we've seen him get crushed in slot 1 plenty of times where he has his cell fully built up. And he has 400. This guy has 400% attack and defense at the start of turn, 30% damage reduction, and guard. So, you know, like, deep into these fights when people put Angel SSJ3 Goku into slot 1 and he has guard, 30% damage reduction, and 150 at the start of turn, if this guy is getting slapped around, he's getting slapped around. But the only difference is, like, you're getting slapped around on turn 7, 8, 9 when these bosses are hitting significantly, like, incredibly amounts way higher. So, hopefully we won't kill on this turn, but if we do, it's not the biggest deal. If we do, I'll just dive immediately into another or a different event. Otherwise, I will see potentially how BROLY does against an AoE. Alright, chat, we are back. This is the brand new Gohan event right here that we have brought our units into. Now, there is no attacks in this middle slot, which is actually probably good. Because, again, turn 1 is, like, really the only turn I would say that BROLY could, like, consistently get caught just having 60% damage reduction. There really isn't anything spectacular. But let's look at the stats right here. 117. I think that's the highest we've actually seen his start of turn defense be. That is, frankly, not bad, because once you get an extra 180 on top of that, you're essentially, that's what? I can't do math in my head. Well, before he was at like 87, and then after we did the act skill, we got up to 250. So that is a difference of 170. So we're at like 350 right here on the super attack. That's not bad. That's not bad, because he doesn't get any stats or anything from his intro. It's just he launches this guaranteed additional super, which only gives him the 50% offensive buff. He does also debuff on it as well. Harudegarn is going to have to do some dodging right here. Obviously, this being type disadvantage. I mean, Harudegarn, I don't understand why they let him stack in his... I'm sorry? Huh? Why were there no attacks? Why were there no attacks? Chat, what am I missing? Did I miss something? And we are back yet again on another rotation. So we're actually moving very, very slow, which probably isn't for the better, because BROLY, obviously, you know, he starts to like taper off once we get deeper into this fight. I guess that is just because of the rotations that I am running, because I am running a little bit of a weirder build by bringing both Fat Boo and Super Easy A Kid Boo. I don't know, just having a little bit weird luck with the rotations. Because for Cell Max to be fully effective, you need a rotation of either movie bosses, super bosses, or artificial life form. It has to be one of the three. You cannot mix and match. So by bringing like an artificial life form rotation and a movie bosses rotation, I'm pretty much going to have to actually float my Brolys and my Hirudegarn, which probably wouldn't be the most optimal. But I feel like Fat Boo would actually be really good in this fight, especially since we're running a friend copy of the Int Broly. By bringing that copy of the Int Broly, we're going to be able to pop the Domain. The Domain is actually going to buff Broly as well, having access to multiple different revives, just in case we get caught in several different situations. Having, you know, access to be able to pop the, what do you call it? The Ghost Usher, the Candy Attack, whatever you want to call Fat Boo's super ability right there. It's not bad. Oh, you can stun him. That's what it was. You can stun him. We still haven't killed. That's horrendous. Oh, no. That's so bad. All right, so this is Bio Broly's third rotation. Again, essentially his best one outside of using his target all mechanic. But because of where like his placement was in the rotations, we don't actually have access to it. So let's see, what's the starter turn defense right here? Oh, wait, I messed up. I have to put Cell Max into slot 1, or I have to... No. We're fine. Yeah, we're fine. Hold on, no. Never mind. I am overreacting. So yeah, just back down to the 83 right there. I wonder, does Broly support stay active if you transform? Is that what that was? Is that why he had the much higher defensive stat? Was it because of Broly? No, because... Is that how that works? I don't think so. Alright, but let's just kind of see right here again. This is pretty much going to be his most impressive turn that we're going to see. And up until we obviously do the active skill, the target all, hopefully we'll have the Domain up at the same time. But it'll be interesting to see how he eats the crit super attack. Obviously, I believe we're going to be able to do enough damage to fully fill up the bar. I would imagine, I mean, I very, very rarely have I not had this kid just instantly transform. I have seen some people actually are able to kill this Teen Gohan before you're even able to go into the Gohan or the Goku phase. And if you do that, it's like has like a weird sequence break where you instantly go in there and it like overwrites your domain. So if you already had a domain up, the territory will then remove it. It's weird. I don't exactly know how that works. I don't even know how you would be able to just one phase this fight. I mean, RNG would really have to be on your side. I guess if you had all three Brolys, like DBS Broly, Carnival Broly, and then the Tech Easy A Broly, you could probably do it right there. Let's see. Yeah, no, we're fine on this turn. I would be surprised if we died. Alrighty, guys. How many times... Are y'all sick of me going, alright, guys? I feel like I say it at the start of every single turn, but that's because I don't know how to do a transition, because I just go from awkwardly watching YouTube quietly with my headphones on into recording mode. I don't want to use... Yeah, I don't want to use the target all yet. I definitely want to use it up against the crit. So let's collect this right here. Let's just go ahead and see what is the defense looking like. Yep, it is just the 83. So it must have been, yeah, it really must have been the Broly support stays up on the first turn that you transform, something that I did not know. I did not know that. But let's see right here. Hopefully we can do some like very, very, very competitive damage on this turn. I mean, 17.6 is pretty good. Now, I will say this. Broly's attack stats are significantly less impressive being linked up with Broly. Usually, like, if you go back and watch any of my showcase videos, or just any video where I'm using Broly, like if I'm going into a brand new difficult event, so on and so forth, usually he's like 22 million, 26 million, somewhere in that range. Oh, this is a super against Bio Broly. I mean, again, that's what this guy does. You go deep into a fight, he just lives everything. That's good. That is good. That was type disadvantage, too. That was Goku. All right, we'll take those. Hiru, you just got to do your job. We don't have either of our revives up on this turn. Fat Boo might actually revive on this upcoming turn, depending on how much HP we have. Although, I guess I could put Cell Max into slot 1, and that wouldn't be, like, the worst-case scenario. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to pop the active. That's what we'll do. We should kill on this turn, and if we do, I'll meet back up with you guys then. Alright, so we just barely did not kill on that final turn, which is a little frustrating, not gonna lie. But I mean, we can look at this on the bright side. This Broly's gonna get another stack up. We do still have access to the revives right here. I think what I want to do is go ahead and pop this right here just to kill him right here. Instead of getting the stack, that way we have the domain going up into the territory, so we don't have to worry about that, even though it is just going to be for the 2 turns. Did want to show that anyway, but we'll go into this next turn. I do think that this will be the most impressive BROLY is going to look, even though he's going to be missing a substantial amount of his damage reduction. I don't really think that's going to matter all that much, because he's going to be having just this massive field of support. So let's go ahead and do that, and then after that, we'll probably wrap up the video. Alright, this is the moment you guys have all been waiting for. We have the domain up. Not only that, but we also have big bad bosses right here. Let's see, what is the defensive stat? Just under 100k. Not too bad. We can play the animation again, sure. I won't play the Scream again just because it's a Scream. I don't play the OSTs or anything because of how I edit. Like, I do it as pretty much as simple as possible so I can be, like, in and out as quickly as possible. We do get the crit right there. Again, that's not terrible damage. It's not crossing, like, any damage threshold or anything along those lines, but expecting it to do something like that, it's just unrealistic. Again, this is a prime battle. Can I get him to 24? I can't, but why not? Let's ball out. Let's ball out with a BROLY right here. So after doing the attack, what are we up to? 260, what is that, 269? We can see that's 270. I want to see this guy eat a super. What is the damage going to be up against the GOAT BROLY? Now, I have not been paying attention to how much damage reduction he should have, so let's see. What's it looking like? 276, that's with the crit, that's ignoring all of his defense. That's just that raw, like, start of turn defense, his guard, and his damage reduction. That's good. See, BROLY is one of these units who, like, gets bullied in short events. So, like, bringing this guy into Cell Max, like, you're just asking for failure. Like, you're losing. Bringing him into Evo Kit, that very first event that we did, that was very eye-opening. You're bringing a loose con. You can't do it in something in one of these events that, like, out the gate, bunch of attacks, bullying a bunch of different slots, because he's just a fish. He can't do anything. And that's just because they gave him 180 to stats at the start of turn. Which, like, if he had 180 stats at when he performed a super attack, and they didn't easy A him, like, imagine if they just dropped his kit baseline, right? Like, his base kit was just what it is right now. And let's say, like, next year he was to easy A. Or in a few months he was to easy A, or something along those lines, which would be, like, obviously more ideal. Because I'm not the biggest fan of instantly easy A-ing characters, just because, like, there's no real point to it. You know what I mean? Because, like, you're just introducing a unit and it's like, oh, well, this is their peak. They will never achieve anything else. There will never be any, like, usage for them once, like, the meta changes, once we get more difficult fights. This is as good as y'all are ever going to get it, so you might as well enjoy them now while you can. Like, because that screws over units. Like, think about LR Bobbity from a couple years ago. Think about EP Beerus from this year. Like, do you know how good EP Beerus would be if right now his base kit, like, before Easy A was his Easy A kit? And then during the 10th anniversary, that's actually when he gets his free-to-play Easy A, and then all of a sudden, he can do all these other different things. Like, he makes even more orb, like, he can double orb change, or he has even higher start-of-turn defense, or his target all mechanic is better, or, like, he does more damage. Like, you could do so many things just by holding out on that Easy A, but just, like, instantly blowing the load, and just going balls to the wall instant. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of that because, like, BROLY, like, he's fun again. I've always wanted a BROLY. Like, this is genuinely, like, no memes. Like, this isn't me being funny. He was one of my most anticipated units ever. And I feel like they really did give him justice. I feel like he would obviously have a little bit more justice if he was summonable, but I do think for, like, the community as a whole, making this guy a prime battle was the best decision, even though I hate prime battles with, like, every fiber of my being. I cannot stand them. Although the new BROLY prime battle really wasn't that bad. It took an hour with the boosted rates and the missions, so, like, if every prime battle in the future is that's good. I will say that is very good, and if all the kits are going to be as strong and as competitive as BROLY, I will change my tune. I genuinely will change my tune, because, like, they have shown us now that they know that they can make a good prime battle. So hopefully this will set a standard and this isn't an exception to the rule. But yeah, BROLY, longer events, this guy is the GOAT. Shorter events, he can certainly get caught, or some of these events that start off really, really hard, he can get caught. But I feel like on, like, the Super Boss's team, Uncontrollable Power team, or whatever, you have so many units that are able to move fast. I know this is probably, like, a bad example, because I did bring Fat Boo, and I did bring Super Easy A Kid Boo. I just kind of did that for the memes. I thought that would be funny, and having another revive in our back pocket would be nice, just in case we got caught on a different rotation. But this fight really isn't that strong to do something like that, up until we get into the Gohan phase there at the very, very end. But I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is one of my favorite units to run right now. I would say probably, like, I was thinking top 15. After seeing this video, I'm probably thinking more like top 20 to 30, somewhere within that range. Because he really did, like, he was getting bullied early on in Evokin, and even like the Gogeta event, which isn't that hard anymore, I would say. Like, I mean, our units are just too strong for those events that we got just a couple of months ago, you know. Like, he was certainly getting caught, but like, once he hits his peak, like, his peak is like incredible, but you just have to wait so long. Like, we were complaining about, you know, AGL Super Saiyan Broly. You have to wait till turn 5 to pop the domain. You're having to wait till, I mean, essentially the same level of time for this guy to be able to just tank. And unlike that Broly, he's not stacking. He's not offering any level of support. He's not guarding. He's just having, like, defense, and pray to God that you're not bringing him into an AoE event. But I do like what they did with him. Again, he's very, very fun. I feel like they gave my boy justice. Let me know, what do you guys think about Prime Battle Broly? Do you think he's good? Do you kind of agree with me? Like, top 20, 30 unit in the game. Somewhere probably within that region. If you, like, had to twist my arm and ask me right now, where would I put him? But, like, he's better than a lot of summonable units that we've gotten this year. Like, he's better than, like, LR Ginyu Force. Because the Ginyu Force, they just can't tank anymore. Their support is insane, but they can't tank anymore. This guy is at least able to tank deeper into fights. I would probably say he's better than, like, the AGL Ultimate Gohan. Probably. I don't know. I don't have that unit. I've never really been able to play around with that unit. I know a lot of people have very strong opinions saying that he's underrated, he's overrated, da-da-da-da-da. I just think it's one of those units who's, like, fine, but he has, like, an awkward kit that makes him hard to run. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know where I would place him specifically, but, like, I would say he's actually, like, this Prime Battle is better than summonable LRs that we've gotten this year. He is just Diet Cell Max. He's doing pretty much every single thing that Cell Max does, just a little bit worse, which is okay. You know, it's okay, because everybody can get him. And again, please let this be the standard for free-to-play LRs or free-to-play units. Both Bio Brolys were very good, even though we only brought Bio Broly for that one other event. The TUR, like, he showed that he actually has a place in the meta, because, like, turn 1 in these short events, turn 1, dude, he was doing good. He was doing, like, semi-decent damage. He was, like, launching, like, what, 6 millions? He was actually out-damaging the LR, funny enough. And he was able to tank on turn 1 and 2, whereas this unit was not. So he does certainly have his place in the meta. I do love it. Thank you, Bio Broly. Mwah! You are my goat. But that is going to be all for this time, guys. I've been the Super27. I'm a variety Twitch streamer and an up-and-coming PNG YouTuber trying to make it big in the world. I have a Twitter, a Twitch, a TikTok, and a YouTube, the links to which can all be found in the description of this video. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, share me around, and leave me a comment, positive, negative, or indifferent. I would love just any sort of interaction I can get from you all. And if you made it this far into the video, I just want you to say what should be the comment word. I did this in the other video where I was grinding up Bio Broly, and a couple people actually did, and I think that's really cool, because again, I do read my comments. And I try to reply to every single one that I notice. But like how like the YouTube page works every now and then, like it's kind of hard to find older messages, or if people reply to older threads, it's a little bit harder to see. What should the secret message be? You know what? We could say this. I can't believe Carnival Broly died, because that's true. That is true. But if you say something along those lines, like, oh my god, Tech Carnival Broly got cooked, or Tech Carnival Broly sucks, something along those lines, something that's funny, that looks like it's obvious bait, I will know that you made it this deep into the video, and you will get bragging rights in my comment section. So, if you're listening to this, I appreciate the fuck out of you. You're amazing. I'm going to go wrap this up so I can get this edited and posted for you guys tomorrow, because tomorrow, or I guess later today, a lot of events are about to be dropping. Super Easy A, STR Broly, there's going to be the 2 new difficult events. I'm going to try to, like, record those, like, as soon as I can, so I can have these guys, have those videos ready for you guys as, like, quickly as possible. But yeah, that's going to be all for now. So, as always, I've been the Super27, and I am signing off.